Before we jump into the video, I want to let you know that there are affiliate links in the description below, which I may receive a commission for when you use my links when getting set up with your LLC. Now, the purpose of this video is there's a lot of content out there talking about what the best LLC service is, but none of them actually use those services and break them down. So what we attempted to do was buy an LLC from the top 7 LLC services and then give them a grade based on running them through 4 different tests. Those tests are cost. We're looking at the 5-year cost of owning those LLC with those services. We're also looking at how long it took for turnaround time from ordering, and there's an 18-day difference from first to last. Then we looked at spam, like are they spamming your inbox and trying to upsell you constantly? And then finally, we created an intentional error setting up the LLC so we could test customer support to see how responsive and helpful they were with that issue. Now, by the end of this video, you're gonna have a really clear understanding of which LLC service works based on your needs, but you can also save up to $1,019 by not picking the wrong LLC, which is included in this deck here. Now, you're probably wondering why the golf glove and also the golf polo. Well, we originally started with 7 different LLC services, but as we started to try to order the LLCs, we realized that there was some issues and we trimmed the list down to 4. So first off, let's talk about Inc Authority. This was one of the services we tried to use, and it was actually the most buggy service. I couldn't actually pay for the LLC. I could never get the order set up. So then they were cut out of the list of the 7. So that brings us down to 6 LLCs. Then there was Northwest Registered Agent, which I had some issues with them based on pricing. They were the only service that wasn't 0+ state fee out of the gates. All the services we used the lowest package service, but Northwest charged you anywhere from $29 to $39 depending on where you found the link. And then I had issues as far as ordering on the back end. And then lastly, the grade F one here, which I'm going to drop out of the list. This was for Zwift filings. And the reason for that was I actually found that they were trying to sneak in a $149 subscription fee by giving you a free trial for something for 14 days that you would never use. And based on that, I actually cut them right out of the review because I don't want to give a lot of time to a service that is sneaking in subscription fees. Now, if you do want to do a deeper dive on any of those 3 services, there are video links in the description below which do an individual review of each. So again, going back to golf, what you can see here is I'm teeing up 4 different balls, and they represent the 4 services that I bought an LLC with. Those are Bizee, formerly known as Incfile, LegalZoom, Taylor Brands, and Zen Business. Now, these LLCs were purchased in the state of Colorado, and they were all purchased within an hour of each other to try to make the review as fair as possible. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to run these through a competition. We're essentially playing 4 holes of golf, we'll call it, and each hole you can get a score of 1 through 4 for each test that we ran the LLCs through. The lower your total score, just like golf, the better eventual score you get. Now, the letter grading that you're seeing on here is based on a scoring matrix here, where an A equals a 1 through 5 total score, a B equals 6 through 10, and a C is 11 plus for your total score at the end of the round. So let's hit the links and get this video going. So on our first hole, we are measuring turnaround time. How long did it take from ordering the LLCs, which were all ordered on the morning of March 19th, to then getting them to actually return the order? Now, we're going to go from worst to first here. And the first swing is with Taylor Brands. And that is because it took them 19 days, 2 hours, and 2 minutes to return the LLC from the time that we ordered. Now, the second slowest LLC was Zen Business, which was 6 days, 23 hours, and 49 minutes. And then from there, it gets a little bit better. With Bizee, it took 1 day, 4 hours, and 43 minutes to return the LLC, which is just much faster than the first 2, thus a better swing. And then the fastest LLC service was LegalZoom at 1 hour and 37 minutes. So again, all of these were ordered at the same time, same state, and we're talking about an 18-day difference turnaround time when you're looking from LegalZoom to Taylor Brands. So on the scorecard, we're giving a 2 for Bizee, a 1 for LegalZoom, a 4 for Taylor Brands, and a 3 for Zen Business. Now let's set up the next hole and talk about customer support. So my team and I decided to order these LLCs and give them all a unique name. And when you're looking at the names, you can comment below if you understand the references, and you can also let me know how old I am if you don't understand these references. But we purposely created a typo within the name of the LLCs. Now the reason for this is immediately upon ordering the LLCs, I reached back out to the company via email to see if we were able to correct those LLC names. So this time we're going to jump into a customer support sand trap here and see which balls we're able to get out and up on the green. Now, the worst experience that I had actually here was Zen Business. It took them 2 days just to get back to me, and that was an automated response email, which blows my mind that an automated email would take 2 days. The issue here was that they never actually told me they resolved the issue. They did fix it, but I never got any kind of communication saying that it was fixed. So I thought that that was pretty poor customer service in general. Now, LegalZoom was the second worst in my opinion here, and that is because they filed the LLC so quickly that they weren't able to correct the error. And then what they wanted to do is file an amendment to fix the typo. Now, there would be a state fee involved with that, plus a $129 fee to LegalZoom for just fixing that typo. And again, I tried to fix this within an hour of ordering the LLC, and they wanted an additional $129 to do so. Now, Taylor Brands was interesting, and I gave them a good result here. And that was because they couldn't fix the typo because they said they filed it already, despite them taking like 19 days to actually turn the LLC around. But I thought it was really cool that their customer support said that they would actually refund me $50 to reorder the LLC so that it wouldn't cost me anything on my end. So I thought that was excellent customer support. Now, Bizee was excellent as well because they got back to me within 7 minutes from a human, and they gave me a link where I could adjust the LLC name myself. And that was also in the initial automated email that I received from them as well. So again, the lower the score, the better here. And Bizee and Taylor Brands were giving a 1. And LegalZoom and Zen Business both get a 3. I didn't give Zen Business a 4 because part of the issue was because of their quick turnaround time, but it also created an issue in this customer support test because of how fast that they processed the LLC order. I think what Bizee does is they intentionally delay it a day for these reasons. Now, I should mention that in the turnaround time test, there are opportunities to expedite the processing, but as you can see, a couple of these services, it was almost like it was expedited processing anyways, because they were able to turn these around so fast. All right, on the next challenge here, we're gonna go to a drop zone because we hit it into the water off the tee and now we have to hit over water. And what this challenge represents is spam. Now, these services, when they are $0 plus state fee, you're like, well, how are they making money? So there's a lot of different upsells in terms of like getting your employer identification number, your EIN, or perhaps getting set up with business banking resolution to get your banking set up. So there's a bunch of different upsells here. And in the course of ordering, we took the lowest possible price for each service. But then what we did is we tracked how many spam emails we got over the next 43 days. A spam email purely is an email trying to sell you something. It's not getting your invoice number or an order update. It is just an email trying to sell you. Now, LegalZoom was the most aggressive, where they sent 18 emails over the course of 43 days trying to sell us something. Taylor Brands came in second worst at 15 emails. Then Zen Business came in with 13 emails. And then lastly, Bizee sent us 0 spam emails over 43 days. This was pretty surprising to me, but what it says to me is that they respect my inbox and they're trying to just help me out with the LLC services. I do expect at some point to be getting upsell emails from them, but I did not receive any over the first 43 days. Now on screen, you can see me picking up a ball and just throwing it into the water, and that one represents Swift, to go back to that company. Now, if you zoom in real close here, it says that they have successfully slipped in subscription pricing and obliterated my inbox. Swift sent a whopping 26 emails in 43 days. That's over 4 emails a week trying to pitch me and upsell me on different products and services. So when we go to the scorecard, Bizee gets a 1 for not bugging me at all. LegalZoom gets a 4 for sending 18 emails. Taylor Brand gets a 3 for sending 15. And Zen Business gets a 2 for sending 13 emails. Now, I do have to admit that this is something that you could simply unsubscribe or set up a filter in your inbox. And I believe that Zen Business had partner marketing emails that you can go into your account and actually toggle a switch and turn that off. So it kind of depends on you and how much you want to weight these different competitions and how they impact you, because different things matter to different people. So in the last challenge, we're going to talk about your actual 5-year cost of ownership with these different LLC services. But before we do that, I'm going to toss it over to Golf Course Eric with a special promotion that we're running for these LLC services.
Well, I thought Office Eric would never shut up. But what I wanted to talk about really quick is something called a counterfactual. That is when you take a swing and you come up just short. So in golf, that may be a long putt where you get really close to making it, but when you come up just short, it hurts more than if you miss by like 5 feet. And that's kind of weird, right? Because we're humans. We're emotional animals. We're not wired with logic, all right? And the reason I'm bringing this up is when it comes to your business, a lot of people won't get started because of the counterfactual. They don't want to feel the pain of getting started and coming up just short of their goals. Now, you have to be able to push through that. That's part of being an entrepreneur, is just pushing through that discomfort. And I wanted to make you aware of that as you're at this stage of starting your LLC. Now, I mentioned earlier, there are links in the description below. They are affiliate links, which I am compensated for, me and my team. But I want to make mention that those are the best possible price. Still starts at free plus state, but we also donate $20 to a charity called Crisis Services of Western New York. What they do is they answer phone calls and texts from people in their moments of crisis, over 75,000 a year. Your $20 donation, when you use one of our links in the description below, will go directly to helping those people answering those calls. So I just wanted to say thank you for considering using our links in the description below and supporting the content that we pour so much effort and heart into. All right, let's go back to Office Eric and get back to the review.
All right, so in our final fourth hole competition here, we're on the putting green. And the reason for that is in golf, you can add a lot of strokes when you're putting on the green. That's where a lot of strokes come in. And when you're ordering these LLC services, these 4 remaining services that we have here, you'll find that your costs don't necessarily stack up year 1, but they stack up 5 years and out when you're using these LLC services. So let's first rip a putt with Taylor Brands, and it's not exactly the best effort here, and that's because I have them as the most expensive service, costing $1,019 more than the most affordable service. And I'm gonna actually show you a calculator that we have in a minute here, where you can go to this calculator and figure out, based on your state, what your 5-year cost is going to be for your LLC. Next, we're going to have a go at it with LegalZoom, and it isn't much better. They came up short here because they cost $769 more than the most affordable service. Now, here with Zen Business, we're going to get a little bit closer to the hole, and that is because they were $524 more expensive over 5 years compared to our number 1 service, which is Bizee. Now, the reason that Bizee was able to drain this putt is they give you the registered agent service free for the first year, and then they are the most affordable when it comes to renewing your LLC at $99 a year, and the registered agent service year 2 and beyond is $119 as of making this video. Now, what you can see on the screen here is an LLC cost calculator that we've created. There'll actually be a QR code on the screen that you can scan right here, and there's a link in the description below if you want to check this out. And it's really cool because you can put in your state and then see the top LLC services here and what it costs, not today, but 5 years out of owning these LLCs through these various services. Now, this calculator is updated constantly, unlike a video, which is hard to update. So I highly recommend you go there just to make sure you know what your cost is going to be 5 years out. Now, before we get to these final grades here, I do want to mention that getting your LLC set up can seem kind of daunting, but it's not as tricky as you think. And that's because you can dissolve an LLC pretty easily. And we're going to get to that later in this video. So let's take a look at the final results. Bizee comes in at a 5, and LegalZoom and Taylor Brands both came in at a 12, and Zen Business slightly edged them out with a final score of 10. So the winner of our competition, as you can already figure out, is Bizee. And I gave them a score of A because they had a 5 for their total score, but they have always had free plus state pricing. All the other services copied that from them, so they have always been the one that has been lowest price, but they've also been able to bring the price down of these other services. They have the lowest 5-year total cost of ownership and then great customer service in my experience. And the fact that I didn't even do the expedited processing and I still got the LLC returned the next day was pretty impressive. Now, on the screen here, you will see a full review of Bizee. We actually go through the back-end dashboard to show you what that looks like. And then beneath that, we're going to show you how to actually dissolve an LLC with these services, so you're all set if you do decide one day to close the LLC service down. All right, again, thank you for using our links in the description below and supporting our local community here at BizBuddy, and we'll catch you in the next video.